Incredible, incredible, incredible day, family. Welcome to the Your Perspective Matters podcast. I am your host, Ronald, and on today, I'm super excited because this is a continuation of the Women's Month. Excuse me. Whew, I think I need some water, but um, this is a continuation to Women's Month where we are celebrating the success of women all month, right? And I have such an honor to have such an amazing woman on the podcast. She's definitely a great friend of mine, and she kind of, she kind of, she kind of went MIA on people. So we definitely we gotta get into it. So,
Okay.
but before we get into all that, without further ado, here is my guest Shamika. How are you doing today?
Hi, everyone. I'm fine. And how about yourself?
I'm phenomenal. I am phenomenal
Hmm.
because you made it. You made it. And I really want to dive deep into like the whole story and everything, but
Okay.
just introduce yourself really quickly. What who are you? What do you
Okay.
do and what are you passionate about?
So, again, my name is Shamika. I am 26. I don't know if that matter. And a Capricorn. Big Capricorns. December, of
Okay.
course. So, what do I do? So, I do a lot. I do content creation, YouTube, TikTok, all of it. My name is Shamika Seaton on all handles. I am currently a pharmacy technician. Just got that under my belt. So I'm excited for the next few months to be in the pharmacy and get into it and then see where life it takes me. What am I passionate about? I'm really passionate about lately content creation, helping people, and just really trying to figure myself out. That's the things that I have been passionate about lately.
Okay. I like that.
Mhm.
And this this podcast is all about figuring, ourselves
Mhm.
out. I let me tell you, I find out new things about myself every single day.
They mhm.
But it also requires intentional, I want to say, focus on yourself. And then
Yes.
many times in some seasons, you might have to separate yourself, right?
Yeah.
And me knowing you from before, me knowing you from before, we was in heavy contact before in another company, and we was connecting, and then you I want to say you separated yourself for a while and then you
Mhm.
popped out. So talk to me about that transition from being into that company and then going MIA and then popping out and being as great as you are now.
So, being with that company, I learned a lot of things about myself. It also made me realize that I wanted a lot more for myself. Before that particular company, everything was just more so of I always doubted myself and second guessed myself with everything. And through it all, I would say I took away that I have to show up for me. I have to be confident in everything that I do and also show up for those people who support me.
Ooh,
And that's why I'm like, I have to be on this podcast
yes.
because right before you asked me that, like a few weeks back, I remember I was scrolling on TikTok and a therapist, she came on and she was just very emotional. And she was like, I need friends to do better. I
Mm.
need friends to say if they're coming, they're coming, unless it's a complete emergency, a near death experience, And
Mm.
the conversation with the therapist was basically that one of the women was getting married, close friends, and one of her closest friends, the day of, not even like a month in advance, the day of, cancel and was like, I'm not coming. And the bride was just crying, crying, crying.
Mm.
And she was like, she have to make this video because every time she is in a therapy session, is friends there crying and just saying like, how could they do this? So I was like, you know what? I have to really start showing up for people. Now, in the time that I disappear, God isolated me. I'll say God did.
Mm. Okay.
Because looking back, the person that I was before, I was always a planner. I was always a goer. If you ask
Mm.
me, Shamika, if you ask me today for today, I'm making it happen. I'm coming. And it came to a point where I felt like I was starting to like run myself thin and just burn out pretty quickly. That was the problem. I was burning out.
Mm.
And I remember within that time also, I lost my dad, and it just felt like every day I woke up like I was reliving the same thing over and over and over again. So that's really when I hit my biggest depression. Like I don't talk about it, but I'm just really good at masking depression, and it's a
Oh
very
man.
scary thing.
Yeah.
So throughout that all, like I just needed to take some time to pray and meditate and really get back to being me and feeling myself before I could be my best self for anybody. So
Mm.
within my isolation, I was praying for strength. I was praying for motivation. I was just praying to be creative and to really be confident with who I am and just to make more independent and better decisions. I have a lot of people that have eyes on me, and I'm like, oh my God, I always have to bring my best foot forward. So I needed time to pray and really get back to being myself. So, I had help from my mom, myself, my intimate family. They were just there 100%. And I remember we were getting to the deep darkness of depression. But when I really came out with my mom, she was like, stop.
Mm.
You were not having those thoughts. And I was
Wow.
here praying.
Wow.
But we'll get into that. I don't know if it
Okay.
would come up in a question that you have later down, but
I got
I'll
a
bring it up
lot.
if not.
I got a lot.
Oh yeah. So I know
Because
we're going in real heavy.
we just deep down go just jump.
Yeah. Let's
And
go for it.
so you said so much, right? I want to go back,
Mhm.
right, to first of all
Sure.
the company that we was in, right?
Mhm.
Um so I want to say kind of sort of like guiding you and mentoring you through the platform.
Mhm.
And for me, from the outside looking in on your life,
Mhm.
during that time, I always saw a great potential, right? But
Okay. Always have that.
one of the things that I believe that you didn't have, that you just said that you now I see have now, is confidence, right?
Mhm.
And it's so beautiful because some people will look at it like, oh, because you wasn't successful or did it in that company, that you can't do it in another company. But what's
Yeah.
so amazing, and I need my viewers to see this, right? What's so
Mhm.
amazing is that you went from not having it and even rejecting wanting to do videos on YouTube. You didn't want to do the
Yeah.
calls. You didn't want to learn the skill. Well, I'm not gonna say you didn't want to learn the skill, but it was challenging for you to do all these different things to show your face, and you're
Mhm.
doing it consistently now. But
Yeah.
for you though, for
Yes.
you, that's why I've been wanting to get you on this podcast for so long. So
Mhm.
let's talk about that first. Like, how did you get to where you didn't have confidence during that time,
Okay.
and now you're oozing nothing but confidence in all your videos and everything. How did you get there?
I had to say fuck it. I had to say, you know what? There's a platform. Growing up, I have
Mm.
always been a YouTube girl. I have always
Mm.
said when okay, so when because I was Trinidadian and I came to the US, when I first came here, I had no friends. I was
Mm.
starting over completely. And then watching YouTube, it was my thing. Like I was watching like the OG YouTubers like Tierra and Ken, Chris and
Yeah.
Queen. I was watching
Yeah.
Swoozy. I was watching Superwoman. If you know, you know. You just had to be there for that era.
I
And I
definitely
always used
do.
to say to myself, I was like, damn, I wish I could have a YouTube channel, but I just didn't know how to go around it. Then let's talk about fast forward now when we were in the academy or programs together. Um, one of the things that I have to had to get over was being cringe. Like I'm like, oh my
Mm.
God, I can't believe I'm doing this. And what I did not know in the long run was it was helping me to put myself out there and just be more confident. I remember at that same time I was doing like public speaking and stuff, and it was the hardest thing for me to do. I was like, oh my God, why is everybody here just watching me? But yeah, so back to it now. Back to it. Now, when I did start my YouTube channel, cringe was a thing for me. It
Mm.
still is, but it's just better mass.
Right.
Um, let's talk about when I first started my YouTube. I think about a year or two ago. So the first year, I didn't know how to edit. So I was just like putting like very long videos out there. I
Mm.
wasn't comfortable behind the camera. And I was like, no, I gotta go study. I gotta go watch the girls, how they do it, how they present themselves to the world. I really had to sit down and try to figure out what is it that I have that they don't have. And I
Mm.
remember when I was on work, I was like, we were having a conversation. Now I work with infectious diseases. So throughout the day, we have like 10,000 conversations. And one of the conversations was the guy, he was like, you guys need to start a podcast. And I'm looking at him like, what you mean we got to start a podcast? I was like, I'm not that interesting. He was like, that's not true. He was like, that's not true. You are very interesting. You just have to get over it. And
Mm.
I felt like God had put me in that particular position to hear that because I remember I had walked away from the conversation and I came back and that's what he was talking about. And that's when I came to the decision. I was like, let me really give myself a chance. Let me really give my business a chance. Let me really give my YouTube a chance, my TikTok, my Lemonade, my all my platforms a chance. Instagram, I'm still not too comfortable with Instagram as yet. I know eventually I would move all my content over to Instagram, but right now it's just TikTok and YouTube
Okay.
because I feel that's what God instructed me to do. He was like, just focus on my TikTok and my YouTube. So that's what I have been doing. And I have been seeing amazing results thus far. So,
Okay.
yeah. So
And
that's now why I could say I ooze confidence because I challenged myself.
yeah.
And then going into 2025, I remember I was praying this year. I was like, God, like, I really need your help. Like, really show me, push me, give me creativity and motivation to do things. And he was like, okay, I got you. Show me that you could be consistent. Show me.
Mm.
And I remember when I dropped, I believe my first or second video of the year. I think I posted it. I'm not too sure if you saw it on my Instagram story that I hit my watch hours. So I hit my 3,000 watch hours for YouTube. And then I was at 623 subscribers. But now I'm at 700 and I think one or two or something like that. So we smacked up 100 subscribers just like that. It's just like that.
Beautiful.
And I'm like, God, you really
Beautiful.
about to show me how good things could get? So
You.
I'm like, so it's just being patient. Stop watching
Yeah.
at the numbers. Because at the end of the day, once we pass those numbers, how much likes, how much views, we
Mm.
realize, wait, you don't have to care about the numbers. You more so have to care about views because that's what really gonna pay you in the long run.
Mm.
Could you
Okay.
retain people? Could people come back to you? people, relate to you. And that's something that I have been working on. Because the old YouTubers has already gained their success and stuff like that. Now they have like, people call it unrealistic,
Yeah.
because they buy these multi-million dollar houses,
Yeah.
go on these large shopping sprees, and then people's like, that's not realistic,
No, it's not.
So
It's not.
that's where I come in. It's like, okay, hi, I'm realistic. But yeah, I probably went on a whole tangent. But yeah,
Nah, you good.
I hope, But yeah.
Nah,
So
you good.
it's just getting over the cringiness of putting yourself out there and really trusting and believing that you could do it. And
I love
also,
that.
for me personally, I don't have a niche, but we'll get into that if you have a question like that for me.
Okay, okay, wait. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. We need to continue with that. Why? So, and this is one of the things, especially for entrepreneurs, especially for content
Mm-hmm.
creators. The one thing they're gonna say is that we are unfocused, right?
Okay.
So, for you to get focused and for you to be
Mm-hmm.
able to get the not the effects, but get the results that you want,
Mm-hmm.
you need to have a niche, and that's the easiest and most effective way. Talk to me. What's your perspective on that? Because you said you don't got a niche. Okay.
If you're trying to learn yourself and figure yourself out, how could you have a niche? You have to
Mm.
try a lot of different things before. For me personally, if I had one particular niche, I would not have been or gained the success that I've had if I
Okay.
just had one niche, sorry. When I first started like Instagram and stuff, I know people like to follow me because I dress weird. Like I would put two things together that don't make sense, but it makes sense once I put it on. It's
Okay.
like, girl, why are you wearing that right now? Like, why are you wearing orange and it is January or December 30th?
Right.
Like, I have never followed the fashion rules. So
Mm.
that's one. Two, I love beauty. I love makeup. I love fragrances. I love all of that. But it's not something that I want to sit down every day and do. So you
Okay.
would see beauty on my page, but only when I'm in the mood to do it.
Okay.
Then three, I love to travel. You always gonna see me traveling.
Yeah, for sure.
I love to shop. You always gonna see me unboxing something, you
Right.
know. Now, weight loss. Now, I gained about 315 pounds, and then I lost it all. So now people want to know how I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So now weight loss and gym lifestyle and weight loss shots is now a conversation on my page. So I would
Wow.
say for me personally, I don't have a niche. This is
Mm.
me, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. You know?
Mm.
Come along for the ride, come along for the journey. But who is anybody to tell you, oh no, you should only do makeup, or no, you should only do, you know, weight loss content. No, this is me. This is my journey.
Mm.
Let's go
I
for
love.
the ride. So
Okay.
yeah.
I like
And if
that.
you notice, like on my TikTok, I'll be like, on my TikTok, I think I have, no, it's my Instagram. I was like, just focusing on becoming my best self, because if not me, who? So, come for the ride. And I think that's what people like with me. I'm just so random. Like, one day you get in weight loss videos, next day you get in a mukbang. Like, girl, wasn't you just trying to lose weight? Like, yes. But
That
yeah.
is hilarious. So I think what is happening with you is that you are, and this is very hard for many of us. And I
Mm-hmm.
can attest to this. Even for myself personally, that what you are doing is you are simultaneously not necessarily in a niche, but you are building your personal brand as well as your business brand, right? So your
Yep.
business brand is going to be one thing where you're going to see certain videos and all of that good stuff, but then when it comes to your personal brand, it's more of the random stuff, is more of the
Yeah.
mukbangs and all of that extra.
Mhm.
So you get to see, so and
Yeah.
people like that. Like nobody
Mhm.
wants nobody want to be, as much as we hate arguing, nobody want to get in a relationship and everything is perfect. It's like,
Yes.
hold on, like get
Oh
mad at
my
me or
God.
something. Like
Yes,
what are we
please. Yell at
doing?
me. Let me know I did
Yes.
something wrong, please.
Something like, yeah, what's going on? So it's, you have a great mix of, and I'm gonna be honest, and I want to say this on a podcast, that I would love to learn from you, literally, because a lot of things that I want to do with my page and a lot of things that I want to do with my YouTube, you are doing it effortlessly, right?
And that's
And
insane. I feel like I'm not doing enough. That is so
oh man, yeah,
crazy.
yeah, you killing it.
See?
You can,
That is
and
crazy.
the reason why is because I've known where you were before.
Hmm.
You was nothing close to where you're at now, right? Like the confidence is really what makes you, it powers your drive into what you are actually doing every single time. Like you don't put out crappy content. Everything is visually aesthetic. Everything is top tier with you, right? Um
Really?
and
Um,
before you probably would have, either, because you didn't have the confidence before,
mhm.
you would not have done anything. You would have just been paralyzed and
Yeah.
on a
Hmm.
standstill, but you're
And
doing
that's
it.
why I had that. Sorry to cut you off, but that's
No,
why I
you
had to
good.
come to the conclusion and say I can't have a niche right now.
Yeah,
Because if I have a niche right now, I would not do anything.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, let me go ahead and just show you guys what I have. Let me show you
Mm,
guys this is what I'm doing. Because I'm really an introvert, real life. Like I'm home. So if I just focus on, always going out or being somewhere, I would not have any content. And
yeah,
I think that's what everybody have to realize. Just post what you're doing. Like
literally.
I know the girls was like, oh, the new age girls, they're like, don't nobody care about what you're doing, whatever, whatever. Show somebody how to do something. That's not true. Because
Mm,
it's a lot of introverts like me who
mm-hmm.
sit home and really just watch what people do. They love it. Like productive
Yeah,
days, a day in my life, go into the gym. They love it.
yeah.
So, yeah,
I like
they
that.
love it.
And we over, like you said, we overcomplicate content
Mhm.
creating. Like, if I was to set up another camera just to film this, just to
Mhm.
film us recording, or even the pre-setup, like people want to see what do you do when you set up, or
Right.
they
Mhm.
got the get ready with me kind of thing,
Mhm.
where hey, I'm just putting on an outfit right before I step out.
People like that.
So
People love
people
that.
people love it. People love it. It's great. Social media, this day and age,
People are
it has
nosy.
been, yeah, and it's also people. That's another reason why I named my
Mhm.
podcast Your Perspective Matters, because perspective is everything. Like, even when it comes down to what you wear, that's a form of
Mhm.
perspective, right? People want
Yeah.
to see how what does your fashion sense look like when it comes to the type of food, the restaurants and the food that you eat.
Mhm.
That's a form of perspective, right? They
Yeah.
want to see what kind of taste you got. Are you a seafood eater? Are you a vegan? How do you season? Like, they
Yeah.
look at
Do you
all of that.
wash your meat before you cook it? They
Oh
look at
my
all of
god,
that.
all of that. Don't start me on that. That's going we gonna flip the whole episode. But so when it comes to entrepreneurs, I know one of the things
Mhm.
that we deal with um is having mixed thoughts, or being confused, and just doing too much, which paralyzes us, right? But I want to shift gears into something deeper when it comes to entrepreneurs, and that's facing adversity, right? Now, you were telling me that when you transitioned from the company, you isolated yourself, and then you started to face a deeper depression where you lost your father. Talk to me about
Mhm.
that. Like, how was that? because I don't even know if you even posted about that. I'm not even
I
sure.
have. I
Okay, you
have,
did.
but only like
Okay.
once. So you had to
Okay.
like really be like paying attention to catch
Yeah.
it. But like only once I ever spoke about it, and I just let it be.
Let it
Like
be. Okay.
I'm not here to depress anybody.
Right.
So so basically you want me to talk about the time period of losing my dad.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So whew, okay. So my dad was actually murdered. And it was rough for me because I have never seen my grandparents. So
Mm.
that was always a goal for me, for my kids to have both of them around. And then when it happened, I felt like that chance and that opportunity was ripped from me.
Mm.
And mentally, like, I just was not there. And then I was in college, and then it just was not going good for me.
Yeah.
Nobody really understood like what was happening to me at that moment, but I did. I was just in a deep depression, and then personal things happened, and then it did not make it any better for me. So,
Mm.
excuse me, sorry. So it just made things pretty bad.
Mm.
So I was weak. I felt like that was the most vulnerable I ever was. And all I could have done was like pray, but I was like paralyzed. Like the brain wasn't braining. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do anything. And it every day it felt like fresh.
Yeah.
I remember like coming up to his funeral, like I didn't cry at all. The
Wow.
moment I cried was when I realized, well, wait, this is it. Like, this is really it. Like,
Mm.
the first
Wow.
love of my life is really gone.
Yeah.
The guy who made me into a brat is gone. Like,
Right.
who I'm gonna call for? Who? Like,
Right.
who's gonna call me? Who's gonna be the first person on my birthday to call me 12 on the dot to say, Happy birthday, my daughter. I love you so much. Like, who was gonna do that? Like, it really hit me, and all I could have done was cry. Like, I felt cheated. But yeah, it's only like 2 years now. Like, it started like being easier, like
Mm-hmm.
so much easier. Yeah.
So what are some things that you did to transition into making it easier? Because I know it was a super dark place. How did you what was that process of like transitioning to making it easier?
Accepting it. And for me
Mm.
personally, I have a recording of him. So, if I miss him or I just want to hear his voice like one last time, I could always go back and play it. And I feel like
Okay.
it is always something that I could have for my kids. I'll be like, you want to hear what your granddaddy would have sound like if he was here? And I could like play it for them. So it was like, okay, he's died, but I still have something, you
Right.
know? And if like the conversation come up in the family, I'm like, y'all want to listen to the voicemail? And they'll be like,
Yeah.
yeah, or sometimes they'll be no, but yeah, it's something I have, you
Okay.
know? Yeah.
That's beautiful. And
But it's just more so acceptance.
okay, so as you've accepted it, and I know that's a daily thing.
Hmm.
Is I don't think you ever finish grieving. I think you just learn
Never.
to grieve better, I guess. But
Yeah.
it's a challenge every day.
Hmm.
What are some good things that because I know loss isn't easy, but
Hmm.
I believe, especially with something like that, it births something new and something great. So, what do you
Hmm.
think after the transition of your father? What are some great things that got you to maybe you focus better, or maybe you produced a product, or like what are some things that was produced out of that pain?
I think more so live for the moment. I felt like
Okay.
that was the best thing. It's
Okay.
like you never know what could happen. Something could really just be gone tomorrow. I felt like that's when it really hit me like, oh, this death thing is real. Like this is
Yeah.
not, because this was the first time like somebody from my intimate family died.
Yeah.
So it was a hit home for me. It was like more so live now. Tell people who you love, tell them you love them now. Like,
Yeah.
so
Mm.
yeah, it birthed that.
I love that. And I remember seeing your niece all the time. And she was
Hmm.
just so on your body, like,
She
and
still
and she,
is.
I was
She
about to
still
say she still she still is
she still
like
is.
I believe a part of what birthed out of that is for you to be a lot more serious when it comes to mentorship, specifically
Yeah.
for your niece. So
Hmm.
how's that transition? Like, is that easy for you to be the mentor or to be the leader for her? Or
Yeah.
and what are some challenges with that?
So when it comes to Layla, because I have many nieces, but I'm just gonna speak on Layla because I'm actively here in her life, watching her grow. So when
Hmm.
it comes to Layla, she's smart, she's beautiful, she's not scared to say how she feel. If she don't feel like talking to you, she's not talking to you, and I love all of that about her. You
Hmm.
know, because I even learned some things from her. Like when I say no, no, don't ask me 300 times. The answer is no. Like, and now it's like she's the mentor, because now, because I have always had a problem saying no, but I'm
Okay.
like, did she just say no to me? And I'm like, please. And she's like, no. But when it comes to mentoring, Layla is pretty easy. She comes to me if she doesn't like something, she comes to me to get my opinion.
Hmm.
And I feel happy about that because it's like I created a safe space for her to come and talk and be real with me.
Okay.
The hardship comes with when her mother says no, and now she
Mm.
comes the auntie. Auntie, da, 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 da. So now I have to really sit there and talk. I'll be like, let me talk to your mom and let me get to the bottom of this. Like the other
Yeah.
day, she wanted to go. She's in violin. She's still in violin. She
Okay.
loves violin, but she recently created, well, got into this. What's the word? No. She really got interested into this new thing called step. You know, when you use your body, and so now she's
Okay.
competing. Yeah. So now her and her school, they're competing another girl. So now she built like this sisterhood.
That's
Something
dope.
that I don't think she built while she was in violin. So the
Hmm.
mom was like, well, no, you know, you can't go because this is your first time back at violin. Da, 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 da. Layla comes out, she's crying, she's frustrated because she feel like she's abandoning her team.
Right.
So I'm listening to her and I'm like, so now I'm here texting her mother, why can't we do that? Why can't she go? Because now I'm just letting Layla express to me, well, I'm trying to get the information from her mother, because if her mother say no is no, you know,
Yeah.
that's your mom.
Right.
So the mother, I remember her mother saying if she put in extra studies, if she do all her homework, if she just be the best her, she could
Hmm.
go step. So her
Okay.
mother ended up going to the basement because she was doing laundry. I said, when she come back upstairs, just bargain with her, bargain with her. But Layla, she was so upset it wasn't registering to her. So
Okay.
like 2 days go by, and my sister was relaying the message to me. She was like, did you tell Layla to say all of this to me? I'm like, girl, I had nothing to do with that. So she was like, Mom, if I do all my work and da, da, da. I said, no, but that's what you guys discussed. I guess she finally had time to sit down and, process it, that if I do what
Hmm.
I have to do, I could go.
Yeah.
So she went, she competed, they get into the top five. So, she was really excited about that.
Let's go. Congratulations, Layla.
Yes, but being a mentor is pretty good. Like if I don't know something for her, I'll be like, let me find out for you and come back. And she really likes that about that. But she comes to me for almost everything. The
Mm.
other day she told me, she said, I hate when you come home and you just go straight to your room. I said, well, thank you for telling me. So now I know when I come home, I gotta sit down in the living room with you when we talk about our day and then go. She's like,
Right.
okay.
There you go.
So yeah.
That is dope. Let me tell you,
Mhm.
the kids is they're growing up faster than we are. Literally,
Mhm.
literally, and it's a great thing. I believe that we are definitely in an age of perspective and a
Mhm.
voice where we are just voicing everything out. You know, whether it's
Yeah.
good or bad, but
Mhm.
it's good that we are voicing it because we're letting it out.
Yeah.
Um, so I do also want to talk about something that was very interesting because um all the things that I saw that you struggled in when it
Mhm.
comes to the other business, you don't struggle in it no more and you've created your own you found I want to say a new passion or a love in terms of your business right now. So tell
Mhm.
me about like the start of Faith Collections. How did it start and how do you keep it moving?
So the start of Faith Collections. So Faith's Collections was launched April 1st, 2021.
Mm,
And what was so sick with this whole business was that I was like, God, you didn't give me no skills whatsoever. You gave people how to do nails. You made people nurses. You gave them all of that, and you ain't gave me nothing. Mind
that's
you,
crazy.
I always wanted to start a business. And it was always, I was going to open like a medical business, but came to a point, didn't want to do that. And then I have always been into cosmetics. Like I remember when I used to work in the mall,
Mm-hmm.
everybody would come like, Shamika, you have lip gloss. Shamika, you have lip gloss. And I would always have a lip gloss to give to them.
Okay.
When we have Secret Santas, they would always buy me like lip glosses, excuse me, lip glosses and everything like that. So I
Mm-hmm.
remember one day I was like, one of the girls on the job, she was like, why don't you just make lip gloss and sell? Because you always wearing lip gloss and your lips always popping. And I was like, I should, right? And then I was like, okay, I'll look into it. And then I remember just not knowing where to go. And my boyfriend, he was like, YouTube it. Like, that's all he said. He was like, YouTube it. So I'm like, YouTube. So I went home the night. I looked it up. I was like, how to make lip gloss. And then I found all these amazing stuff. So I didn't know that I could just buy the base, add my oils, add my pigments, and all of that, and get some tubes and make some labels online and just launch it. Like, so I went ahead, I did
Crazy.
that. And then when I was creating the lip glosses, now I had my sister and everybody there to, be like, could you put this on and see, tell me how you like it and stuff like that. And then I remembered the first batch that I made, it was perfect. It was just how I love my lip glosses.
Okay.
And I remember like a week before posting, I was like, okay, let me like show it online because I didn't really know the purpose of marketing. So I,
Okay.
I did, but I did not, know like how really to go about it. And
Okay.
then my sister, she was like, so how are you going to sell the product? Yes, you have the product. But a other friend of mine, her friend had a business. So I hopped in her DM. I said, Lord, just make her answer me because if she leave me on red, I'm going to be so embarrassed. So I
That's
messaged
funny.
her. I was like, "How do you sell your products?" Because she too had a lip gloss business. I literally adored her company, like, and she was like, "Oh, I use a platform Shopify." So I was like, "Shopify, mind you, this is the night before launch."
Mm.
So I'm no 2 days before launch. So I'm like Shopify. So I go ahead, create an account, everything like that, and then I'm like, okay, so how much should I price it for? So now I'm like, shit, I don't know how to price. So now I'm looking like all the girls, looking at all the girls. I was like, okay, she said $8. She said 10. Okay, I'm gonna put mine at I think 10 too. So I was like, I'll put it for $10.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh shit. Shopify asking for pictures and descriptions and all of this. I don't know how to do none of that. So now I call my friend up. I'm like, babe, I'm launching tomorrow. I need 1 day express pictures. I'll pay you. At that time, I think I paid her like 110 or 120,
Okay.
and she did everything the same day, everything. And then the day of, that's when I was like, everything is live, you could shop here. Ron, I literally sold out in like 4 lip glosses, 4 collections. So I was like, okay, boom, I loved it, like it made sense. And then I was like, okay, if I'm selling lip glosses, then I have to have some lip scrub because they got to exfoliate their lips,
Right.
because after a while, your lips get like.
Yeah.
So I was just there mixing concoctions. At this time, I did not fully understand how to formulate. But the thing is, when you dealing with oil-based products,
Mm-hmm.
preservatives and stuff is not necessary at the point.
Okay.
And then when it came to the lip gloss base already had the preservative. Now, these are the things I didn't even know. I did not really understand formulations and stuff like that. Still, I started my body care line. So the reason why I
Mm.
started my body care line was basically because after the girls had their lips popping, a lip gloss don't finish like mad quick. So I'm
Right.
like, sales is dropping. What's happening? Like slow days. So I'm like, oh my God. So I went back. I'm like, God, please, like, give me another idea. Like,
Yeah.
what could I do? And I remember like for 1 day straight, like when I was online, I was just seeing like girls making skincare, skincare, skincare. So that's when I decided, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a skincare line. And it was
Mm.
the hardest thing ever because now I had to sit down. I had to understand dry skin. I had to understand eczema. I had to understand, just more about the products. So now I had to now take a deep dive and understand what each product in the body butter or the sugar scrub does, because now I started understanding marketing.
Okay.
So I went ahead and I bought pigments, I bought all the ingredients, and it was horrible. It was horrible compared to the product that I made now. It was
Right.
horrible in my opinion. And I'm like,
Wow.
wow, people really trusted me then, because even then they were shopping. I was like, God, you are amazing because
Wow.
you really made people buy this. Why you made these people do that?
You make people do that. It was you. It was your
So
fault.
I remember it was like yesterday. I did some. The first two body butters was birthday cake and strawberry shortcake. And then
Okay.
I made a oil sugar scrub. Now, the thing with them was more so like their textures and consistency. So
Mm-hmm.
for the body butters, I was like, it's too greasy, it's too hard. So I went back and I had to play with the formula. And then
Mm-hmm.
I came over Tara Lee. She's a YouTuber. She gives all the recipes for free. You could try one. But I didn't steal it. I just knew the oils that I wanted to go in along with the butters, but
Okay.
I just needed help formulating and making sure it was perfect.
Gotcha.
So I used her as, a guideline of,
Yeah.
okay, this is what I wanted. And then it came to a point, it was like, oh my God, the hemp seed is just so strong. Is fighting with the the fragrance of the product of the body butter. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I have to reformulate this. So it's more so all about tweaking. And within
Yeah.
the tweaking is money losing as well.
Yeah.
Because every time you rebrand, you relaunch a product, it's a possibility that the person that liked that previous product is not going to like this particular product. So every time you
Mm.
rebrand and you reformulate, you risk loss.
Yeah. For sure.
And everything went well. I still have the people who support me from day one that still supports me. So every time they order something, I add something free. Like, thank you, girl. Thank you for still being here. And it's just like, wow. Like, God has really allowed me to grow and create these amazing products. And it's so funny that how my brand looks now is how I started with it, but I just couldn't
Mm.
see it. Okay, let's talk about brand identity right quick.
Okay. Talk to me.
So, brand identity for me has always been the hardest because, again, remember, I have always seen myself as not creative,
Right.
not confident to push these products.
Yep.
And it took a while for me. So I was always comparing my brand to others and I was always making changes and stuff like that. But then it came to a point where it's like, I'm not happy. So I just pulled
Mm.
away from the business. I was like, I'm closing her down. I don't have time. God, I'm done. He said, "Who is she?
Wow.
Who she thinks she is? Who does she think she is? After I done did all this work with her, who does she think she is?"
Right.
So it's so funny. I remember when I was like closing down, the girls was like, no, they was sliding my DMs. It was like, I know you're not doing this. I know you're not doing this when you became the main brand I'm using in my household. I'm like, stop lying. Stop lying. Say psych right now. So I remember
Jeez.
talking to my mom and she was like, okay, so change what you don't like. And I'm like, okay. But then here it goes again. It's like, okay, but what am I changing it to? And I remember praying to God, and He was like, just be minimalist, just be your true self. If it's black and white, then it's black and white.
It's
Like,
black
I'll
and
take it
white.
from there, I'll do the rest, you
Right.
know? And I love it. Like, I love everything about my brand now. I'm still making some changes, but I'm so in love. I'm so, so in love.
I love it. I love this version of you. Let me tell you, every time I see you post, every time you do a new product or just a
Mm-hmm.
sale, and I'm just like, look at her. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like
And the
people
support is
don't.
always outrageous.
Absolutely. I see it.
Mhm.
I see it. And I'm pretty sure, I mean, we don't got to talk about numbers, but I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure you're doing well off with that. You're from where you were, and I just got to keep,
Mhm.
mentioning this, that where you were before to seeing who you are now. You got the confidence, right? You
Mhm.
got the weight loss going. You got the business. You are a mentor, and what we about to talk about is she got a boo now, y'all. She no longer
Oh
single.
my
Uh
god.
oh. Somebody swept her. Somebody said, he said, I gotta take her, I gotta sweep her off her feet. How was that? What did he come into the picture during the start of the business, or was it during the business?
He was here before the
Okay.
business.
Okay.
Um, so since you want a history, so we know each other since high school,
Okay.
and then we were off. And then, like my second year in college, he came back around, and then I was like, "Listen, we doing this or we not? Cause I don't got time. So let me know what we doing now. This is
Right.
serious now or not?" And then we've
Yeah.
been rocking with each other since. And he, like I always say, like I always give him his flowers. He is the reason I started my brand. He was
Mhm.
the one who was like, just YouTube it. He was the one because
Yeah.
at that point, I was not working. Like when I started Faith's Collections, I was not working. So he took me to cost. No, he took me to BJ's. He got me the biggest of everything. He said, I need you to
Mm.
get all the oils you need. I need you to get all the sugar you need. He
Mhm.
made sure like I had everything. So when I had to do things, it was done.
Beautiful.
So yeah, he was here in the beginning and then he's still here. Like if I
I,
need him to go get me an emergency cocoa butter block, he goes get me the emergency cocoa butter block.
let's go, boyfriend. Okay, I love it, man. Let me tell you, it is not easy to do life alone. Let
It's
alone
not.
it's
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 really
not
not.
it's not, and especially when you want to follow your dreams or your passion,
Mhm.
and you want to go after it, you're gonna face adversity where friends that
Yeah.
you thought would support you don't even support you. It's like,
Okay,
hold on,
complete
what's going on?
strangers.
Literally.
Complete
But
strangers.
you have a guaranteed I want to say like an amen corner. You got a personal cheerleader on your side. How does that make you feel from from where you were before at the start
Mm,
to like now, because I want to say you're super successful. I just love seeing you do your
mhm.
thing. So how does that feel, having that I want to say that foundation of support?
It's amazing. It's really amazing because if it really wasn't my sister, because I live with my sister, I would not have a
Mm-hmm.
place to create these products. Mommy, when things were tight, mommy would be like, here's some money, go fund your brand. I'm like, money,
Right.
mommy, I need labels. Cause at that time I wasn't working. I'd be like, mommy, I need some labels. Like, you got me? She like, I got you. You know where the card is, you know the numbers. Go do your one too. You
I
get what I'm
love it.
saying? And then my boyfriend, he's like always on it. Like if call him now and I'm like, babe, I ran out of sugar. I need some sugar. Could you bring me some sugar? He's here. You
Love
know?
it.
So that foundation and support, I feel that is what make or break your brand and your business. Because
Mm-hmm.
even when I'm not feeling mentally creative, they
Mm-hmm.
come in. My mother will be like, my mother will be like, I haven't heard hi beauties in a minute. So I'm not okay. I gotta
Mm.
drop something for for my brand. My sister would be like, I ain't see you making nothing. What's going on in here? You know. Layla would come home and Layla would be like, Auntie, I want you to do this colorway. I want you to do pink and I want you to do a purple with a gold drizzle or with a purple drizzle. You know. Um it's just crazy. It's just
Yeah.
really crazy. And I really feel like all businesses should achieve that.
Yeah.
And get to experience that. Where I am at now is more so being more consistent on my brand page as I am on my personal page.
Okay.
I don't really post as often. I remember when I first started, I was like posting like 3 times per day. But I make the product, I market the product,
Right.
I do everything with that. And then I have my own personal life. I work, I have my personal brand. It becomes a lot for me. It
Yeah.
becomes a lot for me. But I'm getting through it. So that's all that's important.
You killing it. Let me tell you,
and
you
then
are killing it.
and then I found a way to incorporate my brand into my personal YouTube. So even if I'm not promoting my stuff on my business pages, I'm promoting it through
Your
my
personal,
personal page. Yeah, because I'm
as you
always putting
should.
on lip gloss, I'm doing shower routines. So I found a way to incorporate it there.
I'm I'm super proud of you. Like, you have
Thank
no
you.
idea. It's a beautiful thing. We could talk about this all day. But we're
Mhm.
we're gonna close up shop. But I want we're gonna end on these two things, right? Um,
Mhm.
I want you to, your final words is going to be to let them know where you your Instagrams or your pages and everything, where do they find you
Okay.
at. But the what I want you to give them before that is a word of encouragement. Like, there is a woman out there is a girly out there that hasn't been confident, and she wants to do all the things. She don't have the full vision, but or she has a vision rather, but she's struggling with her confidence, and she wants to get to a place where you're at now on the social media space. What
Okay.
can she do to help her on the person, not personal development, yes, personal development, but on the confidence side? Like, what can she do to be more confident?
So before you could even be confident, you have to fight to become organized. Your
Mm,
brain has to be on the same page as you. So for me, before become confident or before I put out any videos, I write. I write it down. I wish they could see it, but Ron, I'm gonna show you. I write everything down. So it's a YouTube ideas 2025. I
I
write
see it.
everything down. You
I
see
see
right
it.
here, right
Uh
here
huh.
is a breakdown of a particular video and
Mhm.
everything that I want to put in that video.
Okay.
I may put a date to it, but it don't always happen, and I would
Right.
say why. But let me go back a little bit. Write it down,
Mhm.
practice it,
Okay.
reread it. Are you comfortable with that? No, scratch it out. Cause who's to tell you to do it? Nobody.
Right. Yeah.
Write it
For
out.
sure.
If you lack ideas, chat GPT. Just
Yep.
say chat GPT. Hello. Like I always say hello because I always feel like if they take over the world, I need somebody to protect me. So I always say hi chat.
That is funny.
I say hi chat. What are some interesting topics that I could speak about confidence?
Okay.
Hi chat. How do I gain confidence? Just see what it say. Chat would become your therapist in 1.5 seconds.
Literally.
Okay? And listen, just read what it say. Relay it to you. Be like, is this me? And if it is you, ask chat, how could I now apply this to my personal self? How could I apply this to my life? And then you'll be intrigued of what it says.
Mhm.
So that's one way. Get in your mind on the same page as you. You write everything down. You ask questions. And the reason why I say chat is because not everybody has somebody to turn to and ask questions.
Right.
If you're not confident, which means you're not going to be confident enough to even bring what you have going on to you to somebody else. You're not mentally good enough, I would say, to even be ready to receive what somebody could possibly say about you. So let's
Okay.
take it to chat. Let's see what chat say. And then once you're done, I want you to now go ahead and try. Because if you try, therefore you're doing it. Like Ron like to say, you're not trying, you're doing.
There you
So
go. She remembered.
yeah, I took that
That
away from
part.
you.
That part.
So try it. And once you try, it puts you in the position of doing. And once you're doing it, that means there's your content.
Yeah.
There's your content. You're doing something.
Yeah, for sure.
There's your there you go.
That is true.
Confidence does not come right away. Confidence takes time. It takes being patient with yourself. It shows giving yourself grace. It it's about giving yourself room to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't give yourself enough room to grow, you would never become as confident.
Mm.
So for
Makes
me,
sense.
I started very shy, locked up in this room. Then I was like, you know what? Let's start a YouTube channel. I created a YouTube channel. Wasn't confident. I went ahead, I looked at other people who I don't mind being like or getting where they got or is. And then I'll take notes and be like, okay, cut the video, cut what I'm saying right here. This is unnecessary. Even sometimes I'm making my video, my mother like, damn, you gotta tell them all that. I'm like, all right, I'll cut that part out. It is what it is.
That's
Probably they don't
funny.
want to hear that.
Right.
And that's how you become more confident by simply doing.
Yeah.
And then pay attention to your comments. You would not be feeling victorious most days because
Mm.
naturally we get caught up in the numbers.
Yeah.
So the moment you get over the numbers, you're going to become way more confident. I
Mm.
remember this little girl when I first started my YouTube channel. She was like, "You're a YouTuber." Mind you, we are in Target. So now everybody just went,
That is
and now I'm
funny.
like, So
Wow.
now she's running through Target. Mommy, there's a YouTuber. There's a YouTuber, and everybody's still staring at me. And I'm like, Pierre, get me out of here. But she still ended up catching up to me. And I was like, well, stay in school, do what you have to do. And all of these things help you build confidence. When I'm in Target, we beefing with Target right now, but when I was in Target, um, people will walk up to me, you a YouTuber? I'm like, yeah, subscribe to my channel.
There
I
you go.
remember when it came to my business, I was not promoting my business. My boyfriend was promoting my business. Everywhere we go, he would give her my business cards. And I'm
Come
just
on
sitting
now.
there like,
Come on
hi.
now.
But now tell me why I'm taking my products up to my job to
Mhm.
everybody, showing
That's
them
what's
my
up.
products. So it takes a minute. Just be patient, give yourself grace, and you would get there. You would get there.
I love that. I love that.
Mhm.
That's a great way to end off the episode.
Mhm.
Let them know where they can find you, all your social media handles and your businesses. Let them know how to find you.
So to find me on social media, my handles on both the TikTok and Instagram is a Shamika Seaton. That is SHEMIKASEATON as in Nancy. And for my business, you could find us on YouTube at Faith is a Collection. Excuse me. You could find us at Faith's Collections. That's on both Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And then for my website, you could check out faithscollections.com. That is FAITHSCOLLECTIONS at sorry.com.
I love it. I love it.
Oh my
I
God.
love it.
But yes,
Nah, you good.
faithscollections.com.
Hey, that'd be fun. Do your thing, man. I love it. Family, this has definitely have been an amazing episode. It was definitely a relieving episode for me, and I'm pretty sure it was one for you. She's definitely given a lot of interesting facts as well as her life story, and I'm pretty sure it resonates with you because I know it resonates with me. Now, if you have not subscribed, I need you to subscribe to the Your Perspective Matters podcast. If it's going to be on YouTube, you just type in YPM Pod. That is what you search on YouTube. If it's Instagram, it is simply Your Perspective Matters. Let's get it, family. I'll see you on the next episode. Why? Because your perspective matters.